consumer?
So we grew more than 150% for the first quarter. We expect a very strong growth for the overall year. So we're still very confident that we'll continue to build our position in China, which is the single largest market for us. So overall, we expect a very strong year, despite some of the tensions you're seeing on the global political scene. So overall, very confident on China.
How do you continue to negotiate this social media pushback you keep getting when it comes to the sourcing of materials and cotton from Xinjiang? Obviously an area where now there are great concerns about the treatment of Uyghurs.
If you look upon, this is of course a sensitive topic, and we're doing whatever we can to make sure that human rights are protected. That has been so for 20 years for adidas. And of course there is sentiment around it, but overall sport is a industry that people relate to, sports stars moving, living a healthy life, and that of course helps us. And that's also what we see resonating not only in China but across the globe.
And yet, Kasper, sport can be inspirational. It can inspire people in all kinds of ways as well. Does Adidas need to do something that I know you don't want to do and make a stronger stand on this issue?
No, I think we need to make sure that we do the right thing in the long term, and that's what we've been trying to do, and operating with that environment. And I think the most important thing right now is to get people out doing sport again, get them down at the apartments and living a healthy life after 12 months of lockdown, which I think is probably one of the biggest social issues that the world is dealing with. And that is why we're seeing people are longing to go out and do sport and being together and having a social environment. And that's why sport is so ideally focused for growth in the future.
But I guess if you add this political issue that we're seeing in China now and the quandary you have there, plus you add what has been problems on the supply chains globally in COVID-19, in the pandemic as well, has it made you and the company have another look at where your products come from, where you're sourcing materials from, and how your supply chains look?
The supply chain is a consequence of the lockdown and the reopening, and frankly, that's going to be a resolution that will come, and that will be sorted out this year. We'll continue to source the vast majority of our products out of Asia. That's where the capacity is, that's where the competence is, and they'll continue to be that also in the future. But of course, what we are doing is we're doing 3D printed shoes, which were introduced 3 or 4 years ago as the first and the only sports manufacturer of that. So you are seeing an evolution, but the vast majority of sports products are going to continue to be manufactured out